Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. Today I am having a art stream slash chat with Kat, also known as Mother of Cards. We tried doing this episode about a month and a half or so ago, but I was having some tech issues resulting in overall just not a great time. It worked on our end. We had a great conversation, which unfortunately I've now forgotten most of. Go figure. But
Same.
oh, great! Fresh start.
First start.
Um, and Kat was very kind enough to reschedule and help figure out another day to stream, which is awesome because I have just ran out of recent art streams, and I want to get back on to doing that. So, thank you very much for joining me. Would you like to introduce yourself? What's your name, pronouns? What do you do in the magic slash art
Yeah,
sphere?
of course. So my name's Kat. You may know me better as Mother of Cards. I'm on Blue Sky Instagram, and I mostly paint on magic cards. I also make magic tokens. I'm working on this altar today.
Oh, let me.
It's Glarb. It's gonna be Belly Bolt.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna have some metallics as well in the background, which is really cool. My pronouns are she, her.
Okay.
And yeah, other than that, other than painting cards and making magic stuff, I'm a graphic designer
Yeah,
by career. Very, very long career. Very interesting.
that's good at least. That's what I want to do. It's just I don't have enough skill or time to really get into it, and I don't have enough of a portfolio to show anything for it.
You've got the skills.
Tanks.
You're
Most
welcome. You're
most of
very talented.
thanks. Most have gotten done as logo design, and I've made some pretty good logos.
That's cool. That's probably one of the things I do the least of. Just because I'm an in-house graphic designer,
Ah, yeah.
so I do more like marketing materials.
Mhm.
Yeah. I do logos for friends sometimes.
Mhm.
Just like I do websites for friends only, only friends sometimes. Um,
Nice.
but like on the freelance side of things, I prefer doing traditional art.
Yeah. I
But yeah,
feel.
like graphic design, it's kind of funny. It's always like people always think, "Oh, do you do logos?" Like that's like kind of synonymous with the job I find.
Yeah, but it's one of the most fun things about it.
True.
Like there's a real like, oh shit, you make something that really like stands out and like gets like all of the public attention. Like to make something so synonymous with a brand or a thing that it's the first thing you think of or the first thing you see. It's pretty alluring.
I could see that. Um, but yeah, when dealing with like the client side of it, I find clients have a tendency to go with the safe ideas.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like it's like the fun idea turns into a less creative or less fun.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare that like companies will let you do whatever
Mhm.
with like no restrictions.
Yeah. But the allure is still there.
Indeed. I don't know. Maybe I've just been a graphic designer for too long.
Yeah.
Uh, the allure of logos left a long time ago.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think in in college, they seemed a lot more exciting.
Yeah. You're quality's a little fuzzy on my end. Like, audio's fine, visual's a little bit weird.
Okay, I might tell somebody to get off YouTube. So we have half gigabit because I work from home, and everybody watches video content. So I'm like, well, I don't want my video meetings to be messed up. So it's probably just that.
Mm-hmm.
Could also be because one of my kids is playing their VR unit, and they like to play Gorilla Tag.
Nice.
So I'm sure that also has an impact on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hopefully that helps.
I have a VR headset for my PlayStation that I got through a very humorous means. But, like, playing it for too long gives me a migraine.
Yeah, I've never really tried it. But I know, like, certain FPS games, like, when I was younger, just, like, this very specific, I guess, viewing angle ones, just, yeah, after an hour, it's like, my brain doesn't know what's going on anymore. We're gonna stop playing before we start feeling sick.
Yeah. I'm not that way with most...
So I imagine that would happen.
Yeah. Historically, like, just a regular shooter hasn't gotten me that way. But, on the VR headset, Super Hot, I really enjoy playing, or I kind of enjoy playing. I really enjoy it when I'm playing it. When I'm not playing, it's like, yeah, it's alright, whatever. But, Super Hot is a very fun shooter that's very, like, Matrix-y. Like, the whole game's gimmick is the world moves.
I think I remember what it is.
Yeah, the world moves when you do.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't move, nothing happens. But once you start moving, you gotta, like, bob and weave and all that.
The graphics for that one, like, fairly simplistic too.
Yeah.
Like, very, like, basic colors, like, lots of white.
It's like,
I remember some red, maybe.
White, black, red, gray.
Yep. I never played it, but I kind of remember when that was popular.
Mm-hmm. There, those are taken care of. Yeah. It's fun, though.
Only FPS that ever gave me issues was like Half-Life.
Oh, yeah.
Because that one you have to play first person.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, usually if there's a third person option, I often default to that.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of shooters I happen to enjoy are the ones that are also platformers.
Yeah. So Portal.
So yeah. Yeah. I really like Borderlands. I played those games a lot when they were newer.
Yeah. Yeah. I've played Portal a ton.
Oh, Portal is so fun.
I was playing Borderlands 2 I was replaying Borderlands 2. I played Borderlands 2 a ton. I was replaying Borderlands 2 a few months back, and I was really enjoying it.
Yeah, I replayed it as well. Like around the time that the movie came out, or like right before.
Yeah.
I never did see the movie, but I did enjoy
It's bad. It's bad.
playing the game again. That's what I heard.
I watched half of it because I got it through some unusual means. Um,
Of course.
and I watched half of it, then um, I stopped because I didn't like it, and I just didn't save the file. Then I cleaned my computer and cleaned the history, cleaned the cookies, cleaned everything.
Erase it from my memory. This
Yeah,
movie was terrible.
yeah. It wasn't that bad. Just like how I got it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like I
There's
I,
just
I didn't need to put the
yeah.
effort to watch it. I should have waited, and if I waited, then I would have probably spent less time and effort on it. But I was curious and bored.
Part of me is still curious. It's like, oh, they had like such a like good actor lineup for it too.
You think so? Really? Like, it seems good in
Like
theory.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, I know.
Like, it really seems good in theory. And then you watch it, you're like, oh no. Because, like, Tanis is supposed to be in her 30s and 40s, and Jamie Lee Curtis is in her 60s.
Yeah.
And Lilith is supposed to be in her late 20s slash, like, early 40s at most. And
Mm.
Kate Blanchett's in her 40s, 50s. And then
Yeah.
Claptrap is supposed to be, like, annoying and, like, kind of high pitched and kind of goofy. And Jack Black kind of does that, but also, like, it's also still just the Jack Black thing, you know? Like, Jack Black
Yeah.
doesn't really have a whole lot of range.
No. It's like Ryan Reynolds doing like comedy stuff. Like comedy films. Ryan Reynolds is now just Deadpool.
Yeah.
Jack Black is just Jack Black. Like, yeah.
But, like, it's just robot Jack Black. But, like, it's even worse having played Borderlands and watching a Borderlands movie because you're like, oh no, this could have been so good.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah,
Borderlands,
because the games are pretty funny.
yeah. Borderlands 1, very dry, not the greatest. Borderlands 3, kind of over, like, kind of high on its own supply a little bit. Borderlands 2, like, not racist per se, but definitely, like, of its time.
Hmm.
But, like, Borderlands 2 is often considered one of the best written games for what it is. And to see it just, like, very shallowly attempted is just annoying.
Yeah. Borderlands 2 is the only one that I bothered ever replaying.
Yeah.
So that says something.
Mm-hmm. And, like, they don't have Handsome Jack, which, if you're gonna make a movie of Borderlands, just make it of 2.
Yeah. He's like the perfect antagonist. He's such an asshole.
Yeah.
He's so full of himself.
But,
But he's
like,
also like kind of a baby.
and, like, to an extent, he's kinda right. Like,
Yeah.
he's an asshole about it. But, like, he kinda knows what he's doing.
Hmm.
So, you can, like, if they had just made Borderlands 2 a movie, it would have been fine. If they would have just made
Yeah,
if they would have
they
just made Borderlands 1 a movie, it would have been fine. But no, they kind of do a weird, awkward mishmash.
yeah, that is awkward. Like, why do they do that with properties that already have like all the content that they need for the movie?
Hmm.
But I guess like the writers and filmmakers probably also want to make it their own in a way. But then it's like, why just give it to somebody who plays video games, who is also passionate about filmmaking, and they will make something better.
And like Eli Roth does play games, but like Eli Roth also is like kind of a he's a very divisive filmmaker. Because Eli Roth really only makes like one kind of movie. He makes more than one kind of movie, but like he's really just known for one kind of movie, and
Right.
his acting range isn't that much better. So Eli Roth, the like, hey, I'm gonna make Hostel, and then another
Yeah.
horror show, and then Hostel 2. It's just like, and then I want to make Borderlands. What happened to Hostel? I don't like Hostel, but like, I can recognize it's a okay movie.
Yeah, it was I was really into horror movies at the time, so I did watch those. Um and yeah, they had a storyline.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at the IMDb, he did Borderlands, which isn't very good. Thanksgiving, which I've heard is pretty good. Some haunted house VR thing. Some short film. The House with a Clock on its Walls, which I thought was pretty good. Death Wish, which is a remake of the original Death Wish. A bunch of cheap horror stuff. Hostel 2, Thanksgiving, Grindhouse, Hostel, Cabin Fever, and other random stuff.
What is Death Wish about?
Death Wish is Dr. Paul Kersey is an experienced trauma surgeon, a man who has spent his life saving lives. After attack on his family, Paul embarks on his own mission for justice.
So he has a death wish in pursuing justice?
Yes. It's based off of uh, the 1974 Charles Bronson film of the same name.
Actually don't watch that many movies. Um so yeah. I I often miss a lot of movie references.
Yeah.
I was always more of a video game uh like video game as like a relaxing
Mm.
activity kind of thing.
Yeah. Historically, I've been more movie than games, but it just kind of ebbs and flows.
Yeah,
Sometimes
makes sense. I mean, like the amount that I play games also ebbs and flows these days.
I've not been able to play. I've not been able to sit down and play a video game that's not Magic Arena or like Balatro for months.
Well, especially with like your work schedule, you seem to work a lot, then that makes it hard to get into any kind of like long form game where you have to dedicate a lot of time
Yeah.
to following a story, and then oh, I can only play for 2 hours when really I should like to make this game enjoyable. You have to play it for like a 3 to 5 hour session.
Yeah.
And then, oh, I can't play it for a couple days. Oh, what am I doing in this game now?
Yep. 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 Yep.
It's the plight of the adult worker who likes to game.
Hmm. And there are games I want to play. I I used to pay for Xbox Games Pass. I've since. I think I'm still paying for it. I thought I turned it off, but apparently I didn't. But there's Doom: The Dark Ages, which looks really good. There's Deathloop, which is a game that came out a few years ago that I got really excited for. I really wanted to play. Expedition 33, I've heard is really good.
A lot of good things about that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doom, the new Doom looks really cool. My brother got it. I watched a video the other day. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this creator, Jazza on YouTube.
Nope.
He's from Australia, so he does art videos every week, and he just released a video where he got sponsored by the game or the company that made Doom,
Id.
um, to make like a diorama.
Oh, that's cool.
So so he had like the character that you play as like a miniature,
Mm-hmm.
and then he printed the I forget the big demon guy to scale with the miniature. So
Oh.
like he 3D printed in like 10 parts, and sculpted it of himself, and then 3D printed it, and then assembled it. It's like this giant like statue, and this little guy as
Neat.
a diorama, and it was very cool.
That sounds cool.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, Foster? And yeah, I was playing Balatro a lot. Once Balatro came out, I got that. I got it back in December. I played it pretty regularly, just about everywhere, uh, for a while. I got it from my dad, and my dad's still playing it. I almost got it from my brother-in-law. I told my brother-in-law, I was like, he just never got back to me on me buying it for him. I almost got it for my future brother-in-law, and then he just got busy too. I got it for a friend. Yeah, I got it for Gremcorp, and Gremcorp was playing it for a while.
That's too funny. Yeah, I know there was a few people uh that I follow on Magic Twitter / Blue Sky that were playing it. So I mean I've always been intrigued about Balatro, but I never ended up trying it out.
I'm not going to do Completionist Plus or Completionist Plus Plus. That's just a lot of work and time. I'm a very casual Balatro player. If I feel like trying to unlock the rest of the decks, I'll try to. If I feel like trying to unlock more stuff, I'll try to. Other than that, I'll just get a good run in here or there. But I've not played it for a few weeks now.
So like what do you do in the game?
Uh, that's a great question. You get poker hands, and then you play them, and then you get little jokers that alter how the game works, and that alters how the
Okay.
game works. And then other times you get um, other cards that change how the game works. Um, it's kind of solitaire-ish a little bit. It's kind of hard to describe other than just saying it's like solitaire
See,
and poker.
yeah, because like um when it really blew up, it started popping up on my Reddit feed.
Yeah.
Um I was like, what the heck is this? Like people posting about like custom jokers like for weeks. I'm like, I don't understand. What is this?
Uh-huh.
And then I just never looked it up. But yeah, then that sounds interesting. And I mean it kind of makes sense why Magic players would gravitate towards it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm on my millionth playthrough of Stardew Valley.
Hey,
Still playing that game. So good.
that's what I've been told. I just can't get into farming games. Like, I've tried Animal
But you can
Crossing.
also go fishing now.
Wow.
There's like a there with patch 1.6 they added an item called a fish smoker, which basically triples the value of any fish that you catch.
Hmm.
And there's one map layout that so each map layout that you pick comes with like a perk. So there is a map that you can pick for that is good for fishing, and it comes with a fish smoker. So in the early game, all you do is fish every day until you pass out. And then so I did this playthrough on co-op and by myself, and you end up with a ridiculous amount of money without even really doing much farming stuff in like the first two seasons.
Oh, neat.
It's really fun. But there's also like a lot of dungeon aspects to Stardew as well. Um, because there's the mines, and then you have to unlock. Eventually, there's a cave in the desert, and then eventually you can also unlock a deserted island called Ginger Island, and that has a volcano like cave system
Oh,
where you also have to fight enemies
of course.
and get to the end of it.
That's neat.
There's something for everyone.
The only farming game. Excuse me. The only farming game I've been able to like somewhat play and get into is No Man's Sky.
Okay.
But like No Man's Sky
I
is
played that one for a bit.
No Man's Sky is very good, and it's it's very time consuming, but it's such a
Used to
vibe.
be so bad.
It really wasn't that bad. I've been playing
There
it
was
since
nothing to do.
it was more of like a survival horror experience
Fair.
than it was like everybody playing together. Like I've played it more or less since day one, not consistently, but like every now and then I'll boot the game up, I'll update it, I'll sit down and I'll play it for 4 to 10 hours, then put it down and not touch it again for months. But when it first came out, it was a pretty good game. It was just not what it was marketed to be by Sony, and Hello
Right.
Games was just kept being pushed to be like, well, we could make it that, or we could do that, and Sony's like, oh, you are making it that.
The marketing was definitely the issue with that game.
Yeah, and the game was good. Like it had a lot of really unique space mechanics. It
Mhm.
it, it had the procedurally generated infinite universe, and while some of the planets were a little bit barren, some of them were like full of like abandoned stuff or like a bunch of critters, and you could learn a bunch of languages. And then there was a whole mission with like finding the center of the universe.
Yep. Now
And
there's just stargates to get you to the center faster.
yeah, but you can still go the
Uh,
old-fashioned way.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, the last time I played it was when they added the stargates.
Mm-hmm.
As I don't know what they're actually called. I just call them stargates because I watched Stargate.
They're Stargates.
Um, yeah, they're stargates.
I don't know what they're called either, but yeah, I call them Stargates too. But you could also get like, excuse me, a whole bunch of other random cool stuff. And it's just a, I wouldn't quite say it's a rewarding game, but it's definitely like an encompassing game.
It seems like, well, to me, like one of those games you can just pick up, chill for a bit and then put it down and then pick it up.
Yeah,
It's just like very monotonous and like really relaxing, kind of like playing Minecraft. You just dig.
yes. I would equate it to Minecraft a good amount. I think on the whole, they scratch different itches.
Mm,
Like Minecraft, I like playing with friends. No Man's Sky, I like playing alone. Minecraft isn't as robust with its economy without
that's right.
without you breaking the game. And Minecraft has overall a little bit less to do. Minecraft, you can do whatever the hell you want. That's Minecraft.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky,
But as far as game goals, like there's not a lot to do in Minecraft other than like, okay, go to the Nether to get to the end and then beat the dragon and you're done.
yeah, No Man's Sky, it's like, alright, you can become a pirate, or you can become an explorer, or you can become, like, some space captain, or you can become just like a farmer, or you can do a bunch of different stuff, and like all of them will give you like experience and quest rewards and like other different things in the universe. So it's very encompassing.
Hmm.
So since I forgot how last stream went, other than just the fact that like it went well on our end but didn't go well tech end, uh, tell us about your art. What do you do? You mentioned some of it, and we can see what you're working on a little bit. But what do you do? How'd you start doing it?
Yeah, of course. So as like many artists, I've been an artist my whole life. When the time periods of doing art and not doing art vary, of course. Uh, so I was always into drawing growing up. Um, then I kind of stopped doing it for a while. And then I got into graphic design and digital art when I was in high school. And then that's when I decided to become a graphic designer. And yeah, I do mostly graphic design, not so much like illustrating on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time it was harder to get tablets.
Yeah.
Uh, it was the early 2000s, spooky.
Oh.
So like your only options were like get a Wacom tablet. Like there wasn't like the iPad. Um, or like budget friendly tablets. It's like spend $2,000 on like a drawing screen. Um, so yeah, I ended up pursuing graphic design, and I in college we did a lot of traditional art. We had illustration classes also like every semester. So I got into acrylic painting in college. Painted a few canvases on my own time, then just got busy with like a 40-hour a week job, and stopped doing art for a while, and then I had kids.
Mm-hmm.
Where my current art journey uh, started was during the pandemic. I know everybody loves talking about how they picked stuff up in the pandemic. Um,
Of course.
so yeah, in June 2020, I picked up my first fluid acrylic paint set. It was the golden fluid acrylics. There's 10 of them. It's just like every color you need for mixing any color you want. Um, then I started doing border extensions. Um, so I guess rewind a little bit from that and how that relates to Magic. I started playing Magic in 2015, um, and started learning about kind of the world of alters and custom tokens. I'd say more in like 2017, 2018. Then I made my own tokens for my brother for Christmas one year. Um, and then I started giving them away to friends. Then I went to a Grand Prix, Magic Fest Montreal in 2019, and I purchased an altar from somebody who was selling altars there.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, this is really cool. I want to get more of these. So I commissioned somebody for my revised soul ring that has Gollum on it, holding up the soul ring.
Neat.
I was like, wow, this could get expensive. This could get expensive. I want to get a lot of cards altered. Oh, I haven't done art in a while. Why don't I try doing border extensions? Because that looks really fun to learn.
Hmm.
Because I had been following the altar community on Instagram for a little bit at this point. So yeah, I tried it out. Then I immediately fell in love with it. And just kind of refined my process. And I think I started doing commissions pretty much almost exactly a year later. At that time, I was doing only border extensions still. And then I was just starting to dabble in custom, like the custom altars I do now.
Hmm.
Uh, and now I do pretty much only custom altars. Um, I do, I'll do a border extension here and there. But it's like, it's such a different skill set from doing custom altars that you almost have to like, okay, if I'm doing this today, I have to like do a completely different painting process and just get back into it.
Hmm.
Um, I just have more fun doing custom altars nowadays
That's good.
because you can get some really funny ones like this, which I completed last week. Or just like add some fun flavor to the to the card. So this is a counter spell. I'll hold it a bit closer.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah. Um, which it's a coincidence that I just had this was the only spare counter spell I had, but it also has a really funny flavor text,
Which
which
is.
says it was probably a lousy spell in the first place. So I'm like, this image is perfect for this altar. So like you get to just make custom altars that give you reactions at the table from other people.
Yeah.
So they like really tell more of a story than border extensions.
Mm.
And then yeah, like every few weeks or like every month, um, I'll usually take a week or two break from traditional painting, to work on digital art for my tokens.
Nice.
And then I do local magic events, um, that I sell at.
Yeah. That's super cool that you're able to
And
make a thing out of it.
yeah, yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, so I do this part time, and then I work at my graphic design job part time, just to switch it up.
Of course.
Because I enjoy variety.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like originally when I got back into art, I was like, well, maybe I'll do like art full time when I'm retired. But it's like that's many, many, many years down the road.
Hmm.
And why not do something now while I have the energy and creativity to do it,
Yeah.
then put it off for like infinity time.
Yeah.
Just sometimes you just gotta go for it.
Yep.
And I wasn't even intending to like make it a job. I the reason I keep doing altars is because I really enjoy doing it and it brings me joy.
Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, do art because it brings you joy, not because somebody tells you to. But also sometimes do stuff that people tell you to do because money's also good.
Yeah.
Within reason, of course.
Yeah. I need to try to find more joy in my artwork. I like doing it. I want to do it if I didn't like it, but like I just have a hard time finding joy in anything.
Yeah.
So I need to try to find that drive, that passion again. I had
Yeah, that was me this winter, honestly. Um, and that is why I make sure to build in breaks in between commissions for like personal projects
yeah,
because otherwise I just get so bored of it. And then I'm not really excited. I'm not always excited about what I'm painting. Um, Especially if it's like an idea I thought of like a month ago, but I haven't started on it yet because I had all these other projects I was working on. So it's like the excitement 4 weeks down the line is different than the excitement of, hey, new thing. This seems like a cool idea. So yeah, doing stuff for myself lets me scratch the hey, new thing itch to keep the painting passion alive.
yeah,
Because yeah, not it sucks when you go through those time periods of like of just kind of painting on autopilot or not like feeling like super excited about it because it just makes the process so much longer.
hmm
I paint so like painting is so much more enjoyable when I'm in a flow state, and then when I can't get into that flow state, it's like pulling teeth.
yeah.
So what's the altar that you're working on today?
I'm working on 3 different ones. I have a
Ooh.
harvest hand, a skull clamp, and a mountain. The mountain is foil.
What are you doing? Cool. What are you doing for the skull clamp?
So the skull clamp, I'm actually. It's originally I was going to trade proxies for this, which I'll pull up on my screen. It is Pokemon White 2.
Cool.
I was originally going to trade proxies for this, but there were some logistical issues, so I'm making an
Hmm.
altar for it instead. The person already sent it
Cool.
to me, but I'm not going to play it or like try to get it working until I'm done with the altar.
Of course.
But I have Pokemon White 2 now.
That's such a fun game. Right. Such a fun game.
I love Pokemon White or Black. I have one of the two. I forget which one I have. And my version got Game Genied, so I have a bunch of random stuff and unlocks and all that. So I
Hmm.
either need to reset the game and lose all that stuff or find a way to transfer it so I can keep it. But
Yeah. Um, Black 2, I think, or White 2. Anyways, one of those two. And that had brought me out of my Pokemon hiatus from Gen 2 because I played Gen 1 and 2 and then skipped a couple.
mm,
And I really enjoyed Gen 5. It was really good.
no, Gen 5 is great. It's probably my second favorite generation behind Heart Gold Soul Silver. And honestly, if I had to pick between the two to recognize which one is like the better, they're both situationally different. I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver is the better game because of how big it is.
Hmm.
But Black White and Black 2 White 2 are a lot more. They're meant to be a soft reboot of the Pokemon games. So in Pokemon White or Black, you only get Pokemon from Gen 5 in the game until after you beat the Elite Four.
Okay. Because wasn't no, they didn't do that in Gold and Silver because you can get other stuff. Wasn't there other gens where they did that too?
Nope,
Or was that the only one?
that's the only one. Like Gen
Hmm.
3 kinda did it a little bit, Gen 4 kind of did it a little bit, but Gen 5 put like a hard line down and said, listen, playing this game, you're going to be playing just Gen 5 until you beat the game. And then the world and the Pokedex will expand.
Mhm.
And then the sequel added a bunch of other stuff and kind of continued on the story and elements. If if Black and White and Black 2 White 2 were on the same cartridge, I'd say they're a better game than Heart Gold and Soul Silver. But they're not.
Especially since they're a continuation. That would that would have been cool. Because yeah, I never played the first one, so I don't even know what the whole story is.
Yeah. Plus, I think Gen
I
5.
kind of like it though when they make you play the new Pokemon instead of like just like going on a nostalgia trip and just playing with the same team of 6 Pokemon you always play with.
Yeah.
Gives you a bit more of an appreciation for the new designs.
Oh, definitely. The hard part about Gen 5 is kind of hard, like difficulty wise.
Okay.
And Gen 5, like I said, it's a soft reboot of the franchise where like it's very much like a singular experience until it isn't. And then a lot of the Pokemon in it are either like they're good in the playthrough, or like they're kind of bad, or they're kind of goofy, but they're charming. And then the box legends aren't too cool, but they're neat enough. And the roaming legends aren't too special, but they're neat enough, and like they're really powerful even now.
Yeah, it's been such a long time since I played it. I don't even really remember what like the mythicals or legends are outside of the box art.
Yeah, it's Zekrom, uh, Reshiram, and Kiram are the box legends.
Yep.
Then the roaming ones are Thundurus, Landorus, and Tornadus.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's also the the Three Musketeers, who I forget their names.
Oh, Cabalion,
Virizion and
Frisian,
Terrakion.
and the yes.
And then there's
I
the
remember those ones because they're in Scarlet and Violet as future versions.
yeah, and then there's uh the fourth one, which I forget his name. But there's the fourth one, which is like the baby. And then Victini is in the same generation, but I think Victini was a mythic, which you could only get through like DS download play
Yeah, one of those.
or like a mystery gift or whatever.
Yeah, or like they would do like a GameStop exclusive sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes like I've skipped so many Pokemon gens in between playing certain games that I don't actually know which one is like has which Pokemon. Especially like when I've played the TCG. Usually the first like base sets they or like base expansions they focus on Pokemon from the new game,
Mm-hmm.
and then they always have bring like back stuff from the older games after that.
Yeah.
So like all the gens are always mixed together.
Mm-hmm. my favorite Pokemon from Gen 5, and I love the little booger, despite his difficulties. It's Dino. I love Dino.
Oh, he's cute.
I have a
He's a
little
cute one.
I have a little plush Dino on my desk.
Aw. Plus, his final evolution is no joke.
It's absolutely
It's real
bananas.
badass.
I want to eventually get all the Dino, Zweilous, and Hydreigon Pokemon cards and put them in a binder.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Which in theory is not that hard because the most expensive one is only like $150,
Mm,
which is a lot of money. But like we play Magic, that's nothing compared to Magic.
exactly. Yeah, it's probably like an EX card or something. Cause yeah, all the regular ones would be pretty cheap.
It is a secret foil shiny version of Hydreigon
Yep.
that came out like 7 years ago. The most expensive
I
version
think
of
for a while there, I have a bunch of Hydreigon promos that LGS has got from like 2022 to like 2024. They just kept handing out the same card. I'm like, I don't want any more of these, but yeah, it's a Hydreigon.
Is it the one that says "Thank you" in the corner?
Yeah, it's the thank you one.
I have one of those.
I gave them to my kids. I'm like, I don't want any more of these. Here you go.
I have one of those that I got from a game store.
Nice.
But the most expensive Hydreigon now is only like $50,
Yeah.
which my local game store has. At least they had. I'm not sure they still have it, but like I don't think it'll sell.
Yeah, they probably still have it.
Yeah. My local game store is
Yeah,
kind of a mess.
oh, that's too bad. I always appreciate having access to good stores.
Yeah.
There's so many in my area.
The best store near me is like 25, 30 minutes away in like a neighboring town. And like it's not very big, but like it's decent enough. And like a handful of the. So Playing with Power is a CDH channel. They live near me
Yep.
overall.
Oh, cool.
They usually play at that store when they do play at a store, and that store's pretty good.
Yep.
The one that's in my hometown is okay. A lot of their not a lot of their customers, but they have a good amount of customers who are like centrists and libertarians.
Mm.
Either they're centrists or libertarians, or they're really, really freaking stupid and they don't know it. Which is really annoying because they will insist they're right about something and they will complain and talk about it till their face is blue. And they will be dead wrong. Which is maddening.
Yeah. One of the stores in where I used to live had I think one or two players like that. They didn't really last very long in the store.
Yeah.
Not that they got banned, they just never came back.
I wish these guys would not come back, but I think this is their only like form of socialization.
Okay.
Also, most of them don't shower either.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah. But like I think it's their only form of socialization.
Mm.
And like that's what they spend their money on. It's not like family and other assorted random crap.
Yep.
But God, they are the worst. I hate them. I have made it very clear to multiple people in the store that the main reason I do not go to the store is because of those people. And the store likes having me and my buddy Toad around because, like, we create events.
Yeah.
Like, we are the ones who, like, perpetuate and, like, share and make bigger other events that they have.
And probably create like a positive environment that people wanna be in. That
Usually.
brings more people in.
If not more people in, then, like, a stronger base of people.
Yeah.
That's the sort of people you'd want to have at a game store, as opposed to more unsavories.
Yep.
But the game store's main owner is an idiot, and he thinks magic blind bags are a good idea, and that people who drive a Cybertruck deserve all the attention.
Well, you can count on them for having lots of money because Cybertrucks are expensive.
I shit you not, like, I was playing at the store one day, and some person came up with a Cybertruck, and I swear the store owner practically got down on his knees and gave the guy a blowjob just for the chance to, like, look inside the Cybertruck and be part of it.
Interesting.
Not literally, but, like,
Yeah. I gotcha.
practically.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. It was obscene. I hated it. And then the same day, I had to be there with one of the players who doesn't shower and thinks they know what they're talking about. And I was having a terrible time because this store owner is just making an absolute ass of himself for the dumbest person, and then the second dumbest person will not shut the fuck up. So I was very, very lucky that my mom was shopping at the nearby grocery store, and I'm like, Mom, I see your car in the parking lot. Can I just, like, come home with you?
That's good.
Mom, I'm scared. Take me home.
Yeah, that must be like a smaller town thing. Cause yeah, where I used to live was a lot smaller than here. And just like the general quality of the Magic crowd or like the card gaming crowd in general was a lot lower than like in big cities.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird like small town thing, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And, like, I'm in a bit of a small town. Like, I'm in a decently sized town surrounded by other smaller towns. It's like a perfect little suburbia
Hmm.
that is hell for anybody who can't drive. Which,
Yep, that describes a lot of small cities.
yeah. But my hometown is just okay. Not a lot to do for the most part, but, like, there's a few moments, there's a few pretty spots, few neat things to do.
Hmm.
Honestly, my favorite game store recently has been one that doesn't even do Magic. Like, they used to, kinda, but, like, they're focusing more on board games and role playing games.
Okay.
But I've been playing Monster of the Week and Warhammer, kind of, there with my buddy on Tuesdays the past month and a half, 2 months, and that's really been enjoyable.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. What's Monster of the Week about?
It's a role playing game that's very simplified. It's meant to be like a Monster of the Week, like Supernatural, X-Files, Buffy, stuff like
Yep.
that. But each player makes their very basic character that has, like, some basic moves, some basic abilities, and there's so many certain stats. And It goes off of 2d6, not d20s or
Mhm.
any of those, so it's just 2d6. And it's pretty easy to make a character. You could just make it up in like 10, 20 minutes, maybe 30 if you're reading into the stuff. But once you have your character, as long as
Oh,
you don't die, which isn't that common overall, you can just keep playing it over and over again. And then
pretty cool. So it's almost like a D&D experience, but like more casual or like beginner friendly in
yeah,
a way.
it's more bite-sized.
Yep.
You can make a long-running campaign out of it, and my friend Toad kinda has a little bit, kinda, but like you don't have to. And like you can play it with as little as 3 people, so one person running the game, and then 2 people
Hmm.
playing it.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's like the main book is like $40, 40, $50, and then the supplementary books are like an extra 30 to 50, and there's only 2 other books. So for $150, give or take, you
Mm.
can buy all the books and just run it with some friends regularly. And it's not like D&D where you need everybody to play. It's not like Pathfinder where you need everybody to play. This one only needs like a handful.
Yep.
And since it's more beginner friendly, you don't feel too bad when various things happen. Like, oh no, it's 2d6.
Yeah, like one thing that always got me about D&D, it's like since it's the D20 system, it's like, okay, what kind of like what die do I have to roll for this? Do I have to roll a D4? Do I have to roll a D6? Like there's just you have to reference the rules a lot when you're
Mm-hmm.
playing. Which like even if you're playing a campaign that focuses more on role playing, there's still a lot of rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. But Monster of the Week is fun. It's pretty compact, pretty bite sized. Hopefully, if all things go well, I'll be doing that on interchanging Tuesdays. Like I mentioned before we started recording, my work schedule's weird, but I have interchanging Tuesdays off. So like I'll be off one Tuesday, or I'll be mostly off one Tuesday. Then I'll work the next Tuesday. Then
Yep.
so on and so forth. So hopefully, I'll be able to do Monster of the Week on Tuesdays, and then Pathfinder the first Saturday of each month. I'll still have to work in the morning, but like I'll go to work from like 9 to 2, and then my friend will pick me up, and I'll change shirts, put on deodorant. He'll pick me up, and we'll
Very
go play
important.
Pathfinder. Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
at least that's how it should work in theory. Here's hoping.
Yes. Yeah, it's nice when you can get something over with like early in the day and then still have time for like a whole afternoon of like a social gathering or just something fun.
Yeah, at least that's how it should work
'Cause it's
in
a
theory.
yeah. 'Cause it's like even though yeah, you're working on a weekend or whatever that day is that you end up working, you could still it's not the whole day.
Yeah, but I gotta get used to working the whole day and being more active and more. I need to work on being more active, period, and like work out a little bit more and walk home more often and stretch more often and lift things more often because I'm out of shape, and my work, whilst not demanding per se, has moments where, like, in the morning, not too bad. I vacuum the pools, I clean up the bathrooms, I sweep up some messes, open some doors, whatever. Then during the day, it's mostly just walking around checking trash cans and pulling trash cans and sweeping up messes and taking care of various random things that fall apart. But like today, I kept having like bend over and grab stuff, and like my back was bugging me the entire time.
Yep. Yeah, it's the repetitive movements that get you.
Yeah. But like 1 minute I'll just be sitting down in the pump room doing nothing, just like on my phone playing games, which like I'm allowed to do. And then the next I'll be like stretching all over the place. I'm just like,
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. It's hard to get in a consistent workout schedule
yeah,
because I'll be really disciplined with it for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'll have a week where I just don't really time manage manage my time properly during the day. Because I'm not an early riser. I do not like working out before work because I
yeah,
have to get my kids ready for school. So I'm like, I'll just focus on that. So sometimes when I'm working out, it's either in the middle of the afternoon or sometimes even like into the evening. But I don't have like a set time for
yeah,
it. And then sometimes it's like, well, I'm really into my painting right now. I'm not gonna stop to go work out because I want to finish this painting. Yeah, it's always a lifelong struggle,
mm-hmm,
but I always think about it. So at least it's not something that gets forgotten permanently all the time.
yeah,
And yeah, like the older you get, I found especially with an office job, like if I don't move around enough during the day, like I find my hips get really sore from sitting all day.
mm-hmm,
So like I know stretching and like movement and activity, like even just walking helps a lot. After a full day of sitting. It's just yeah, making the time out of
like
our very, very busy lives.
I can't walk home because I don't drive and my job is walking distance. And like sometimes I do walk home. I walked home today, but I'm just like so tired and burnt from work, and then I have to walk a mile home. And it's just like, eh.
Yeah, it's not super appealing when you're done work.
But I make it work out. That's what I need to do. I'm hoping I get tomorrow off. So one, I can try to play Monster of the Week and Warhammer kinda with my friend Toad and my friend Julian in the afternoon easier. And partially because I really don't want to wake up early because I have to wake up early if I want to ride to work
Hmm.
because my grandmother's doing stuff. So if I want to ride to work in the morning when I don't feel like walking, tomorrow I have to wake up at like earlier than usual just so I can get a ride home. Get a ride to work.
Yep. It's a lot of planning.
Yeah. The one good thing is I can listen to I listen to music on the way. Um, I listen to music whilst working, and I listen to music on the way home too.
Yep.
So it's not terrible. Like it's a mile, which is a decent walk, especially in the heat. But like it's just a mile.
Yep. Yeah, it's still doable.
I don't like it.
Very doable.
I don't like it, but it's doable.
To walk and run a lot before I had kids.
Hmm.
And yeah, I just zone out after I put music on. It made it feel like no time was passing.
Yeah.
Or rather like time passed like so fast that I didn't notice it. I guess is what I meant to say.
Yeah, and I get it. My hard part is sometimes I don't know what it is. Some songs make it feel like time is passing way faster. Other songs make it feel like time is slowing down. And
Is it like the lower BPM songs versus like the faster ones?
sometimes, other times, it's really just like how it's playing or like what sort of emotion it elicits.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's totally random.
That's why when I'm listening to music as like a background filler, I uh I like to listen to playlists of songs that I already know.
I do that
That way I don't get
sometimes.
caught off guard.
I do that sometimes. Other times, like I use YouTube Music instead of Spotify or anything like that.
Yep.
And YouTube Music lets you like kind of make a playlist out of a radio.
Mm.
So like I'll set up the next 5 to 6 songs that get played, and then after those are done, I can switch radios and listen to something else. Recently, I've been cursed, I guess, with the. I'm cursed with ambition beyond my skill level
Okay.
because for a while, I was writing a comic book about an idiot superhero,
Yeah.
and like every now and then, I revisit the idea here and there. But recently, I've been listening to some songs, and some songs just like create that scene in my head of that superhero doing something. And I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool to write that down and like make a comic out of it. I'm like, wait a minute,
Yep.
I can't do that. I don't have the time, energy, or motivation to make a comic.
Those moments are hard because when you get an idea in the moment and you're not able to act on it because you're doing something else like working or what have you, um that spark always goes away and you have to find it. You can't just like schedule it to later
Hmm.
and then do it late and then hope it works out later.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough. And like if you want, you really gotta prioritize too and like schedule time for like special projects like that. Because if you don't, yeah, you have to make it a priority. Otherwise, it's really hard to execute it.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I get like that sometimes with like token ideas. I have an idea book that I write down all my ideas in. Um, and those ideas sometimes sit in there for like I've had some in there since April because I have not had time since April to work on digital art.
Yeah. I've been sitting on this comic idea since college at least. So almost 7, 8 years now.
Someday,
Yeah.
someday it'll happen.
Hopefully. It's very musically driven. So like the main character always is listening to music or always has like a head like an earbud in. So certain scenes will play out certain ways. A lot of needle drops and
So I
stuff like
guess
that.
that's probably yeah, that's probably why you get ideas for it when you're listening to music then, since it is music driven.
Mm-hmm. Like an example would be like I heard the Ween song "Waving My Dick in the Wind." Great song, weird name. It's a Ween song. It's a Ween song.
Yeah.
And I heard it on a TikTok, and the TikTok was bizarre as hell. My kind of like weird internet humor. And the drive, the beat, and the way the song is sung and performed really like stuck with me. And then like I forgot about it for like a month. And then like the song came up again when I was listening to music randomly, and it just slowly started forming. And now the idea is that in the comic, the main character's listening to the song. He before the song starts, he stealthily invades a a neo-Nazi rally,
Okay.
and spikes their fluoride-free and presidentially blessed water supply with LSD that he stole. And then like he convinces a bunch of people to drink it, like neo-Nazis to drink this LSD spiked fluoride-free presidentially blessed water. And some of them start infighting because they're high, and then other ones start kind of picking up what's going on. And right as the main character is about to like hightail it out of there, they're like, "Hey, why haven't you drank any of the water?"
Dun,
Uh,
dun, dun.
and then the character's like, "Not thirsty." That's not a good reason. Drink the water, or we're gonna kill you. Now, mind you, the main character, his superpower is that he's immortal, other than aging. Also, he can talk to any insect that's 37.45 feet or longer, but that's besides the point.
Very specific.
Yeah. Mind you, no insect like that exists other than one, and that one's just made up. But, so like they start interrogating the main character. The main character puts on his little helmet. It's like, I gotta run. See ya. And he starts running away, and that's when the song kicks in. And you just in my mind, you just see these panels of the song playing, and this character just like hightailing it away from these racist and like a mall slash
Yep.
downtown, probably closer to a mall. And the song is just like this like upbeat, weird little ditty. and then the main character
Yeah,
escapes, and the song changes to something else.
that's cool. Yeah, kind of reminds me of like movies or shows that use music like that in that way
Mm-hmm.
for like transitions and stuff.
Yeah. And like honestly, I'm waving my dick in the wind by Ween. Great track.
So what is the song actually about?
Uh, the song is actually about kind of. I don't really know. Like the first half is kind of about doing something foolish to make someone fall in love with you. But then the back half is like a running away from the cops and making some old man dance and do a little jig. And that's kind of it. It's 2 minutes long. I'd play the whole thing if I didn't want to get copyright struck.
That's awesome.
Though what is funny is on Wednesdays I go to a bar to play trivia,
Yep.
and that song is on the jukebox. So I'm able to play it on the jukebox, which is a little bit funny. Because like it's not a family bar, but like it's more family friendly ish.
Yep.
And it's very funny just 1 minute hearing like generic like dad rock, and then the next minute hearing I'm waving my dick in the wind. Dun, 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 I'm waving my dick in the wind. If it all goes right, I'll be in your arms tonight. I'm waving my dick in the wind.
I'm sure if my 7-year-old heard that, he would think it's very hilarious.
Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that there's language in the song, I should play for your 7-year-old. But there's language in the song. The main singer says bastard a few times.
Yeah, that's fine. They've heard worse.
I'm sure they have. They're 7-year-olds in the modern day. I wouldn't be surprised if Miss Rachel said like fuck once or twice.
Yeah, my husband's in the military, so he swears a lot.
Ah.
Yep. We just tell them to not repeat it at school. Like they don't like
Yeah.
swear randomly. But yeah, it's like, yep, daddy said a bad word or mommy said a bad word. Don't say it at school, and you won't get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Carry on.
Yeah. That's kind of how my parents were too, for the most part. Other than the fact that me and my sisters, I said some at school because I kind of have no filter.
Yeah.
My sisters, on the other hand, were a lot more selective, but very precise. Like my whole family is like very like sarcastic and kind of like not mean per se, but definitely like a very unique sort of warped sarcasm and
Right.
sass with each other, which lends itself towards casual swearing. Um, and we'll be doing absolutely nothing. We're just like having a family gathering with like the immediate family without my grandmother there. We do not swear in front of my grandmother. My grandmother is a holy lady. But once my grandmother's not there, and no other notable family is there, and it's just like my mom, dad, sisters, all that. It's fair game. All things are off. We'll be like
Just
talking.
let loose.
We'll be talking, making fun of each other, and then one of us will say "fuck," and my mom like, "How dare you swear?" And my dad will be like, "Watch your goddamn language." And then it just starts the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like we have a group chat with each other. Like we all like text each other, and like it's mostly PG-13 because the youngest in their family is 13. But every now and then, like it gets a little bit weird. Not inappropriate necessarily, but just weird.
Yeah.
And it's family, you know. I'm just thankful that I have a decent relationship with my family because I know a lot of people don't have good relationships with theirs.
I was gonna say, if you guys have a group chat, then you're doing it right.
Yeah.
I can't say the same about my family.
I'm sorry.
I talk to everybody, but I am the arbiter
Yeah.
sometimes.
My one sister is more of the arbiter, but she's been taking a step back because she has a crazy work schedule and also she's pregnant.
Cool. So you're gonna be an uncle?
I am.
Very exciting.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely interesting. I gotta go. Um, the baby shower was this past Saturday, and my grandmother convinced me to buy some books for my sister so that she can raise the baby on a bunch of books because my family really
Mm-hmm.
values education and reading. So I picked out a pretty good book that my mama ordered like via like Amazon or whatever. And then I went book shopping myself at like a bookstore nearby and picked out
Yep.
some other books I thought would be humorous. And my gambit paid off because whilst my present got removed from the stack of random presents because um, my sister's mother-in-law had some stuff that she wanted to present my sister. Wrong pen. Where's my big black one? Is this you? That's silver. Um, my books that I got added to a random pile. But then my mom saw them, and my mom's like, "Oh, those are hilarious. Allie will love them." Allie's my sister, and my mom like pulled me aside, pulled Allie aside. Or no, my mom pulled me aside, grabbed the books, and took them to Allie, who was talking to like a friend or some relative or whatever. And my mom's like, "Look, this is what Drew got." And my sister thought they were quite humorous and fitting.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It was.
That's very thoughtful.
Thank you. I got her Madeline, like the children's book. Like they're in France, where a bunch of little girls all stood in a line. The youngest of them was Madeline. That one.
Yep.
I got her Goodnight Moon, but like a little like baby hardcover version of it.
Oh,
I got her a little golden book version of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
cool.
I got her The Stinky Cheese Man, which is the one that my mama ordered. I got her Curious George, like the first Curious George book, because that's one we had when we were younger. We also had Madeline when we were younger. And then I got her a vampire look and find book.
Interesting.
I was looking for a very specific Scooby-Doo one that her and I used to have.
Okay.
But I couldn't find Scooby-Doo. But I found that vampire one, and I'm like, this is the closest I can find. I thought it was funny. And my mom thought it was funny because like it looked like the Scooby-Doo one. It's not the Scooby-Doo one, but it looks like the Scooby-Doo one. And I showed it to Allie, and I was like, hey, it's like the Scooby-Doo one.
That's so cool
Yeah.
that you're like passing on a childhood memory to the next generation.
Yeah. I want to see how much the Scooby-Doo one is on Amazon, just out of curiosity. Scooby-Doo look and find. Hardcover, $14. That's not too bad.
$14 is so cheap.
Publication date, January 1st, 2000.
Oh Jesus. That's 25 years ago.
It's longer than
25
that. 25
years.
I'll see if it's cheaper on eBay. There's the mountain I was working on. Let me switch to my camera.
Oh, that's cool. That looks cool.
So, I'm going to scratch it off a little bit and create a little foil effect.
Nice.
See the paint dry.
Yeah, this is how mine is coming along. With the light. Kind of shiny.
Nice.
Yeah, I prepped it this afternoon. So it would be nice, smooth process.
Neat.
When it comes to my altars that I do in this style, I usually do the art transfer, of course. And then I do the black background first. So and that's usually like the longest step. So that's what I did this afternoon. I did the black.
Yeah.
Because then after that, it's like coloring in a coloring book.
Yeah. So on eBay, the Scooby-Doo book is like $15 too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you gonna buy it now?
No, I have no money. I am broke.
Fair.
I have. Let me see. I made the foolish decision the other night because I've been wanting to like smoke weed or take an edible and watch Bill Burnham's Inside. Because that seemed like a fun thing to do. And I got paid from some art stuff yesterday. So I'm like, oh, I'll pay for Netflix for a month. I'll watch Inside. I'll take an edible and I'll have a great time. But like, I probably shouldn't have done that because that's like $18 down the drain that I can't get back.
Yeah.
And now I only have $6, and I need to save that to get energy drinks because, now more than ever, my one med has ran out that I need to take daily.
Oh, yep.
and I'm out of energy drinks until my next stash arrives tomorrow afternoon.
The caffeine is very important.
Yeah. But I can't get a refill on my med because my hospital recently had a cyber attack. I can't even log
Well,
into
that
their
sucks.
I can't even log into their app. So the only way to get a refill on my med is to go there physically, get a paper that says, like, get the paper script, and bring it to them. But I can't drive, and it's out of the way.
Yep. Yep, so it's just like really inaccessible right now.
So
That's too bad.
I just can't take that med. Which sucks, because that's Adderall.
Yep.
And I kinda need that.
Yep, hence the more energy drinks.
Yeah. And I have a case ordered that should arrive tomorrow afternoon. But that's tomorrow afternoon. I need them, like, yesterday.
Yeah. Similar issue when I moved switch provinces. So yes, that class of drugs, they can't transfer your prescription between provinces
Mm-hmm.
since it's so limited, as you know.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, I was without my meds for about a year after I moved because it just took that long to get set up in the medical system here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I went from not drinking any coffee for I think like 2 years. I had quit coffee. To like back to full on like self-medicating with caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
It sucked.
Yeah. And the hard part is, like, I technically still have some Adderall left, but I'm on so much Adderall that, like, I'm on a 30 milligram in the morning, and then I'm on like a 5 to 10 milligram in the afternoon. I can't take
Okay.
the I can't take the 5 to 10 in the afternoon in the morning because it's immediate release.
Yep.
So it'll just make it feel all weird. I took a 5 an hour and a half ago, give or take. And but, whatever now. So what are some tips you have for doing artwork now that we gotta get to the point where we're wrapping up?
Yes. For sure. Biggest tip, just do it. Um Second tip, I would say ideas. If you are really good at generating ideas, that is a good skill to have as an artist. If you're getting into art or specifically like magic altars, um, don't get hung up so much on what gear to use or like what paint to use, what brushes to buy. Just start with what you have or like with something relatively budget friendly, and that will at least just get you started. I think that like starting art is the hardest step of the art process.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another tip I would have is don't compare your skills now to the skills of another artist who you may think has like better skills than you. Um, because while sometimes that can be inspiring, and it is good to use that as an inspirational tool, try not to let that turn into, this person is so much better than me. I'll never be able to do this. Like, you have to put in the hours. With art, it is a physical skill that you develop with your hands. I was not good at doing line work when I first started doing line work. And now I'm pretty decent at it. Um, so yeah, just don't give up and just try stuff and work on your own timeline. Don't focus so much on what other people are doing.
That's a good tip. That's some good wisdom.
Yeah. Listen to your elders. It's me. I'm your elder.
You're not that old.
I am turning 37 in
Yes,
August.
that's not that old.
It's medium. Yeah, it's not that old.
My friend Toad is 38.
Okay. You know, the 30s have been my favorite decade so far. Still have my youth, but I also don't really give a crap about what other people think.
That's good.
It's good.
Oh, I forgot to take notes for this episode. Whoopsie. What all have we talked about?
Oh, we talked about video games, Pokemon, um, the art tip thing. We talked about my art background, and what I do. And I think that pretty much summarizes it so far.
Nice. And then finally, what are some of your favorite cards in Magic?
Oh boy, that's a hard question. Some of my favorite cards in Magic. I love a lot of mono black cards. One of my favorite cards right now is probably Rug of Smothering. It's an artifact that flies. And the effect on it is whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 1 life for each spell that they've cast this turn. And I've been jamming it in a lot of decks lately. And I don't know. I love stacks. So it's a fun symmetrical effect that also affects you, the owner of the rug. So it just makes people think how they sequence their turn a little bit more. Some of my other favorite cards, probably Dark Ritual, just because over the history of Magic, there have been so many different cool artworks for that one. So that's a good one. I really enjoy Crick, Son of Yawgmoth. That was my mono black CDH commander for a long time. Rip Jeweled Lotus. I like that one because you can cheat on black mana. It just turns all your black mana pips into Phyrexian mana. Um, what's some other cool mono black cards that I love?
Tendrils of Agony.
I have so many pet cards. Yeah, Tendrils of Agony is cool. Uh, Gix Yawgmoth Praetor is a fun commander. It's whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, their controller may pay 1 life to draw a card.
Yeah, there's the mountain I
So it's
finished.
like very cool, super shiny. That looks really nice
Thank you.
with the foil effect. Great job.
It's fairly
But
simple,
yeah,
but
the
it's meant to be fairly simple.
yeah, no, simple works.
KSS.
Indeed. Indeed. They tell you that a lot in design school.
Yeah. They told me that a lot when I was in high school for programming.
Yeah, because then, yeah, if you keep your lines of code simple, it takes less processing time.
Hmm. Also, just for problem solving, it's good for problem solving because then it's just like don't overcomplicate shit.
Yep.
I say that. I say that.
Yep.
And then all of my quivers are just these like um exquisite corpses of stuff.
Yes.
This is not simple. This is insane.
Well, I'm sure it started out simple. It's a lot of it's complex as a whole, but it's a lot of simple things to put together.
Yeah. There's the two of them that I need to send out.
The red one turned out really nice
Thank you.
because you were working on that one last time. That's so cool. What are some of your favorite Magic cards?
Uh, my favorite of all time is pacifism. I have a collection of pacifisms that I have every printing of pacifism other than one, or one or two.
Neat.
I have multiple altered pacifisms. I have multiple signed pacifisms from various friends and personalities. Um, I have a bunch of foil 7th edition Japanese pacifisms, and just regular foil 7th edition pacifisms. I have the somewhat rare pacifism mousepad,
Okay.
still in its packaging. Um, that's my favorite card. And then second would be like Kark the Thumbless or Possibility Storm. And then I really like Brainstorm. I think it's a fun, good card. Howling Mine, I like Howling Mine a lot.
Yeah, Howling Mine is cool.
Like if I was like win the lottery or like my artwork career got like really skyrocketed by something, I'd try to get a printing of each Howling Mine.
Yeah, the Howling Mine that I have, it's the one with like the bluish art that kind of reminds me of like that jaguar like cave entrance in Aladdin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Aladdin one.
So my personal favorite Howling Mine is I think the 10th edition one. And like it was used in other sets. I think it was like used and all that, but it's a roller coaster. Like it looks like a roller coaster.
Cool.
I pull up my copy. I have a foil 10th edition one, but like my cards aren't in my office. They're in my bedroom.
I should pull it up in Scarfall. Let's see. Howling Mine. 10th edition, you said?
Hmm?
You said it was 10th edition? Okay, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, that one's badass too.
But I have a foil, and the foil was like $10.
Cool.
That was a good $10 because that's a fun card. I play it in a bunch of decks. But anyway, we have been on for about an hour and a half, give or take, a little bit longer. So time to wrap up. If you're on Twitch, make sure to follow if you haven't already. Um, we haven't really had anybody in chat other than my friend Foster, and Foster's great. But we had a bot. And
Thanks for hanging out with us, Foster.
yeah, thanks, Foster. You're great. I have played Value Vintage with Foster before, and Foster's great. He's this overall stand-up guy. Um, but if you're on Twitch, make sure to follow. And if you're on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. If you look over, let me get to my camera. If you look over here, whoop, there should be little boxes where you can find the playlist of all the other art from Beyond the Machina videos, as well as a video that is suggested for you to watch. Right where this hand it should be and you can subscribe over here if my fingers are pointing the right way and the video lines up. If not, then I just look like a lunatic, which is fine. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and thank you very much for joining me, Kat. I really appreciate it, especially your willingness to reschedule. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you all later. Is there anything you want to promote before we leave?
Yeah, check my work out on Blue Sky and Instagram, Mother of Cards, and I also sell tokens and altars on my website, motherofcards.ca.
I will post those links in the video description. Thank you, everyone. Bye!